What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Here we are at about 1.3 cents. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 16th of March. We are on a new day. Looking at the weekly time frame here, not only a new day, but we're about to press on to a new week. 22 hours left in the week, 22 hours left in the day. I think this week could be the week, you guys. It's not often, but there are a good bit of time where whenever you move down from the high to the low, you move down 7 weeks, that 7 week period. I mean, if you're a traditional trader, if you know anything about the TD sequential, that's appetizing, man. That's pretty damn appetizing, right? The idea is nothing moves down in a straight line forever. Even if you are to go lower, you're probably at some point soon going to find some support, right? And then you take this and you add the catalyst of the fact that, from this low to this low, you're finding support now, right at the base of this range here. It's not a guarantee to go through to new highs, although I do. You guys know what I think, right? We're going through the freaking roof, guys. We might go above 30 cents on this next move, and I'm not just saying that for bullish effect. We've done the math. We've gone over the Bitcoin charts. It makes absolute sense, and we'll do that again in this video, just to reinforce the fact out there, just to show that I'm not crazy, or maybe I am crazy. We'll see how it goes. But 1.3 cents now. 7 weeks to the downside, finding support at really the only area we could find support in this whole range. I have a feeling. I got a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. We're about to rip, guys. Right? This thing actually reminds me of XRP on a weekly basis. Nice, dominant weekly uptrend, and you are bouncing off the 50, baby. If this week can close green, we're only up 6.5%. We have 22 hours left. If this week closes red, it won't be a confirmed bounce off of the 50. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, right? We could close below the 50 and still bounce, right? We could close below the 50 and go down. It can happen, but we don't have to close right at the 50. In fact, looking at this thing with what little history we do have, let's go on this over here, see if there's any more. We don't really respect the 50 too much. Maybe a little bit here, but not really. So if we go a little bit below it, I'm not worried about it. But it would look good, I think, if this week can close green. If you've got the combination of 7 weeks to the downside from your high, you've got that combination with finding support at your prior areas of lows. Like in the only area that would make sense to stop, you found support right here at this area of support back here. From a overall high to a low, you went right from your 2618 golden extension, double golden extension, down to your 1618 golden extension. You have so many reasons. I don't care what kind of trader you are. You could just be using your eyes. You could just be looking at the time frame of the movements down and just going off of volatility strictly like that. You could be a fib trader like me. You could be an RSI junkie. Whatever you are, there is an abundance of signs that we're about to see something good. We're about to see something good, you guys. And then beyond all that, if you're a pattern trader, a simple pattern trader, we are in a bull flag. And what would this bull flag call for? I wonder. We've done this so many times. From a low to a high, that would call for a move that would likely take us up above 20 cents. We're at 1.3137 cents right now. And we could break out. The last time that we saw a movement up, it took 2 weeks. Now, I'm not saying that implies that we're going to be in 2 weeks, we're going to be up here when we break out, but certainly the pace at which we would achieve these prices would be fast. I don't care if it takes 2 months. I could wait 2 months for a 20x. That's fine with me. But guess what? It doesn't stop there. I very much do believe we're going to see higher targets than that even. We're going to go above potentially 30 cents. And we'll go over why I think that by the end of this video too. I've already gone over that a couple times this week. We're going to do it one more time because it's so much fun talking about the upside. I get jacked on it, man. I get excited about it. Definitely not the other words. 1618. So 2618 resistance down to your 1618 support, going up to your 3618, which lines up magically with your measure move here. 20 cents could very well be where we stop. It very well could be. We'd be breaking just above our all-time highs. To me, it would seem more likely that if you get to new all-time highs, you continue, you press further, but hey, whatever. Here's another thing. Generally speaking, as you get deeper in your extensions, really specifically, once you get past the 2618, you kind of stop respecting these things. Not always, but it's not necessarily something you should count on. Not necessarily. Doesn't mean that it's completely unnecessarily, but from a high to a low here, if we stopped at the 2618 on this last significant high to low pivot, okay, if we stopped there, might we then stop somewhere maybe around the 1886 to 200, the 2272, hell, even the 2618. Could it happen? Could it be possible? What would a 60.5 cent market cap or price be? What would XCN's price be? Or no. Market cap valuation be if the price was at 60 cents? Yes. Just give it to me straight, Grok. I don't want all the explanations. I normally do. I don't ask him to cut it short because I actually like to read the extra stuff, but I like to make sure that he's doing his process right. But I trust it. Let's see, market dynamics. Yes. Give me the answer, Grok. We want the cheese. Let's go. 18 billion. $18 billion market cap, ballpark. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? Does that align with your speculation? I would think so. I mean, I haven't done the math, man, so I don't know. And he's talking about the circulating supply. Supply changes, he's talking about that. The valuation shift, if it's closer to 33 billion, so he accounts for that. Cool. Yeah. So 18 billion, that's a lot. I don't know if you guys are aware, but XCN here, OnyxCoin, is at about a $429 million market cap. To go from here to an $18 billion market cap in the next couple of months, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and it just might work, man. I don't know if we do see that, but what would that be from the low to high? That'd be like a 50-something X. I don't know if we see that. That's a bit crazy, right? I don't think we go to the 2618, but certainly around the 2272 is possible, around the 1886 is possible, and from the low, that's about a 17-18X, but from the current price, let's see if it'll let me. No, that's not what I was going for. I want this. From the current price, that would be a target area of, maybe at a minimum, at the most pessimistic I could be, guys, we're looking at a 10x from the current price at just below 13 cents. It'd actually be just below a 10x. To likely we see something of around a 14x to a 17x on this next move. If not potentially higher, we really could go to see something that's at a 26x from the current price or more. It's very common to go just above the 2272 if you interact with that. And beyond all of that, if we were to see new all-time highs, I would expect that we don't stop right above it, but we continue pressing on. Like I really am encouraged by the notion that we could see a 35-cent price or more for this thing. And what encourages that for me? Oh no, why did I delete CoinMarketCap? I didn't mean to. I thought it was just. I thought that was just B3, not CoinMarketCap. I thought that was like the white paper or something. Anyways, what encourages that for me is that I believe Bitcoin is going to move up over the next couple of months, and that it will see prices that are phenomenal, right? XCN versus Bitcoin, this pair here is likely going to move up as well. If we look at this on a weekly basis, we use the same kind of logic here, right? It almost looks exactly like the price, the US dollar price, right? Except here you found resistance at this area, where on the XCN US dollar pair, you broke through this area on the US dollar and you actually went through it, right? Now you're finding support on it, okay? XCN BTC is a little bit harder to break through. Why? Well, Bitcoin's more sound money than the dollar is. You can see it here literally, right? Argue with anybody that Bitcoin is more sound money than the US dollar. Compare assets to Bitcoin over a multi-year period. Look at their dollar pairs, look at their Bitcoin pairs. They're probably lower in their Bitcoin pairs than they are their dollar pairs. That's because Bitcoin is more sound money. But nonetheless, getting away from that, away from the philosophical stuff, oh man, and we're grinding out the 123. You guys, we're about to explode. We really are. But we stopped here. The only next logical stopping place, in my opinion, if as long as we don't stop right here, and it's possible, I suppose it is possible from this price that maybe XCN only sees a 433% growth versus Bitcoin. Maybe that's possible. We can go over that. We can see what those numbers would be. Okay, we'll go over that. But likely we don't stop here. We continue pressing on. Where would we press on? Because again, you've got a bull flag here as well. And these patterns are respected, US dollar pair or Bitcoin pair. If this is a bull flag, it would take you all the way up here, which goes right about right there. Bull flag taking you to the base of this range on a closing basis. This last move took you to the base of this range on a closing basis. Do you have to hit this area just because it makes sense? No. You could fall short of it. You could exceed it. Measure moves are not a guarantee. It's just an idea. But running with that idea there, from the current price that we're at, that's 433% growth versus Bitcoin. That'd put us at how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, 82606. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. What is it? Hold on, y'all. 82606. 82606. Something in that area. Okay. You multiply that by the price of Bitcoin, right? Because this is what it would be worth in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes where I think it's going to go by the end of this move in May, and XCN tops off around the same time, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I would think that Bitcoin's around 170K. If you can't get on board with that, okay, that's fine. Let's not do that then. Let's talk about 130K. Let's do 130K, because I think by the end of May, Bitcoin can definitely see 130K. I think by the end of this move for XCN, Bitcoin would definitely be at new all-time highs, and likely from a high to low, we would at least be at about 130K. That's where the golden ratio is after all. So 136K even, right? Let's say 136K, because that's where the golden ratio is. Let's do that. Why the golden ratio? I don't know. From a high to low here, our last time that we did this, when we moved up, we actually went through the golden ratio. So I feel like even talking about this golden ratio is rather realistic, pessimistic even, right? 136. Let's multiply this price of XCN to Bitcoin versus 136K, right? $136,000 real quick. This is a new price, right? So even at a low point, that's 11 cents, right? Even at a low point, that would mean that XCN would have to stop here, right at this high. Even at the lowest points that I can fathom, we're likely going to see prices above 11 cents, okay? Which from the current price, 11 cents would take us up to about right about there. That'd be about an 8.5x. But you wouldn't stop there. You'd probably go to your golden ratio. So again, the minimum target we have is essentially like a 9.5, a 10x. Okay, that's the minimum target that we have. The minimum target is a 10x, guys. That's not bad at all. Let's say that we see a higher price versus Bitcoin. Let's say that we don't stop here, but we stop all the way at, I don't know, maybe this area. Maybe exactly as we did this time, we stop here at the base, not at the closing, not at the wicking price, but the closing price, right? That would be at 5 zeros, I believe, right? That's 5 zeros, 24321. 0.00000243221. Is that what it was? 243218. 218. That's the price versus Bitcoin, assuming that Bitcoin might be at 136K by the end of this move whenever XCN tops off too, which I think it'll only be higher, but $136,000 would give us a price of 33 cents, guys, of 33 cents. What is right around 33 cents, this 2272? I'm serious. I'm not just, this isn't foo-foo nonsense, right? I hope it makes sense. The reason why we talk about this day in and day out is because, for one, it's fun, but for two, and I probably won't talk about this too much more, I'm probably not going to bring this up again for the rest of this move. Maybe here and there, but I don't plan on this being the bread and butter of my analysis, but you look at it, you really look at it, and it would make a lot of sense that this is our stopping point, right? That's our next stopping point. From a high to a low on the Bitcoin pair, maybe all the way down to this low, actually. I delete these white lines, okay? Whenever we break through, anytime that you find resistance just below the golden ratio like this, and you find support at the 382, plus you've got the bull flag going on, plus you're grinding out your 123 weekly moving averages, I wouldn't assume that you break out and this is all you get. I would think you do go up to the 786, 886 area, somewhere in there. What's right smack dab in the middle of that area? The closing lows right there. You know what I mean? We could be more bullish. We could be a little bit more bearish. Hell, if we're a little bit more bearish than 33 cents, I'm fine with that. I think I speak for all of us when I say I'm fine with that. Let alone if we go to 35 cents or more, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but the XCN, the OnyxCoin market makers here, they tricked us. They made us think that 13 cents to 20 cents was all we would have. But man, I think we're going to break through 30 cents when this thing is all said and done by the end of May. We've got something special going on here, you guys. And this might be one of the best performers of the cycle. It doesn't seem like it now. I mean, it might seem like it for the people who've been involved. It might seem like it when you finally break through 100x. I will have 100x once we get above 26 cents. And I do believe that even if it's not on this next move, even if we don't see 26 cents, even if we stop at 13 cents on this next move, we're likely going to still grow to all these levels that we're talking about in time. So even if it's by the end of May and we're only at 11 cents, boo-hoo. Take your 8x and wipe your tears with some $100 bills or something. I don't know, man. We'll pull back, we'll find support, and we will continue to these prices just months later, right? That's all. And then we consolidate again and we continue to run. XCN, in my opinion, by the end of this cycle will be worth nothing less than, I think 80 cents is the minimum target, right? Let's see. High to low, and I don't believe it stops there. High to low, 83 cents is the minimum target. We're at 1.3 cents now. That's phenomenal growth for a minimum target, you guys. $5.67 is the maximum target. This is not going to happen. The market cap's too high. And this should prove for anybody that says you're just a moon boy, you're just looking for clicks, for likes, for attention. You don't have your your feet on the ground, you're not touching sand, you're pie in the sky, you're crazy. Well, if I was, I would say the golden ratios we're going to go there. Absolutely, we're going to go there. Look at how much it grew. All we have to do now is grow that same amount, consolidate one more time, and then grow again, and then boom, we're there. It's happening. Boom. It's so obvious. No, I don't. But it's logic, right? We're using logic. Logic would dictate that we don't see a market cap above $100 billion. Probably not too far above $80 billion even. Like 80 billion is a lot. And that would be the maximum that I could see. Maximum does not mean that we get there. It means it's the maximum. If we get lucky, we get there. And that'd be at about $2.50 to $2.40. The minimum, which again is not the likelihood, that's the pessimistic, unrealistic targets that we have, but we accept as a possibility because they're there. Just like the maximum target is at 250, and that's unrealistic. I wouldn't even say unrealistic. It's realistic, but it's the maximum of what's realistic. 82, 83 cents is realistic, but it's at the minimum of what's realistic. So where do we stop? Probably not anywhere. Probably not here, but somewhere in between. I'm in favor of this thing being worth over $1.82. I really am. I think that if we go above the 127 what we have on our side there is that when you hit the 1414, oftentimes you don't reject right off of it. Oftentimes you do go through it. Okay, oftentimes you do. What's awesome about that is even if you don't go through the 1414, you stop right at $1.82. We're at 1.31 cents now. It's a 100xable coin with that. Let alone if it does go up above to around 250. This is almost a multi-100xable coin from here. Or if it exceeds our wildest dreams, who knows, man? It could be a multi-100xable coin. I don't think this coin will see over $1 billion in market cap value or over $100 billion in market cap valuation. If it does, great. If it does, great. We've literally, there's only 2 coins, and Bitcoin's not one of them, but there's only 2 coins in crypto's history that I know of. Maybe there's more, but it's a very small amount. And those 2 coins that I can think of that have seen over a $100 billion market cap in their first bull cycle, which this is OnyxCoin's first bull cycle, those 2 coins were XRP and Ethereum, right? And no offense to OnyxCoin. I love you, OnyxCoin, but you're not the next XRP or Ethereum, but you might be. You might be. If DeFi, you guys, takes off, because the reason why Ethereum is so big is that it was the first smart contract token, right? And it stayed relevant. The reason why XRP is so big is it's the first banking coin, right? And it's set out to do that kind of stuff, right? Help out with integrating banks into the crypto world and getting them into this kind of financial space with crypto, right? And that's unique. And that's something that a lot of crypto people weren't shooting for. Crypto back in the day was all about screw the banks. And XRP saw an opportunity there where it's like, hold on now, we could help the banks. We're actually going to make it strong off of centralization. XCN, if it were to be the first DeFi coin, and this one out of all the DeFi coins that I've looked at, they're all kind of centralized to some degree, right? There is a central force driving them, Chain.com and Onyx DAO, and now Justin Suntron and the boys. But I very much could see this thing, if it were to be the pinnacle of DeFi, maybe it could see $100 billion or more by the end of the cycle. Maybe I'm not bullish enough. But again, I'm not trying to be moon boy crazy and just go with any targets that we have. Technically, this is the maximum target we would have by the fibs, but I'm not going to say that that's going to happen. I think we'd be lucky to get to 250, and I'm okay with that. I think I speak for all of us when I say I'd be okay with $1.80. Hell, I'd be okay with 82 cents. But to me, $2.51 is not likely. 81 cents is not likely. The most likely is somewhere in between. I do expect we'll get above $1.82. How much past that, I don't know. I'm looking for prices above $2 by the end of the cycle, but that's so far away, you guys. By the end of this move, by the end of May, if not earlier, maybe sometime in April, we could see prices that are around 20 cents to 40 cents. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Okay, I think this next move, as crazy as it sounds, from a low to a high, might be even bigger than this last move was. We're bouncing off of the weekly RSI. It looks phenomenal. I got nothing else to say, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I will see you on the next one. And I don't know why the camera, I do know why. I keep saying I don't know why the camera sucks, but I know why. It's because the internet is just absolutely dog shit here. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.